Hello, everyone, and welcome to another awesome yet crazy theory, courtesy of yours truly, Warhawk Beyond 2040. And today I'm going to be talking about Legends of Tomorrow. I have mentioned this show very briefly back in a previous video that I did for my Theory on How series, but this is the first time I'm going to be talking about Legends of Tomorrow in great detail. I'm going to be also discussing about who I'd like to see be the main villain for Season 5. A certain character who I would love to see appear with the Legends. And also I want to talk about how I think Legends of Tomorrow could improve as a show. So sit back, relax, we're going to go back in time, no pun intended, to the very beginning. Since 2016, in January, Legends of Tomorrow has been kind of like Arrowverse's answer to the Justice League in terms of the lineup of heroes and even villains as well. The idea of taking a number of heroes who have appeared in Flash and Arrow, and the same with the villains, putting them together as a team to basically protect and save history from being destroyed, for the most part has been a very interesting and cool concept. For Season 1, the team was initially led by Captain Rip Hunter of the Time Bureau, and he's kind of like, I don't know if anyone would agree with me, but he was kind of like an English Nick Fury, so to speak, like how Nick Fury was for the Avengers. He went around, picked up different villains and different heroes, and put these guys together. Now, I wasn't sure how this show would actually work, because you didn't have the Flash, you didn't have Arrow, you didn't have any of the more iconic heroes that we would know in DC. So this show was basically like a group of not so well known characters. And Season 1 for me, although got off to a little bit of a slow start, I thought was a tremendous show. I thought it was a great season. It was really cool to see a live action Hawk Girl, a live action Atom, lots of first time evers, and it was a really good show. I really liked it. So Season 1 was kind of like an instant hit in some ways. Some people probably didn't like it as much, but I thoroughly enjoyed it for what it was. So with that all said, we move along to Season 2. Now, Season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow, I would probably consider it to be the show's strongest season. This season was more superhero driven than Season 1. Not that I'm saying Season 1 wasn't, but I thought Season 2 just had a bit more action to it. For Season 2, we were introduced to two new characters, Nate Hayward and Amari from the JSA, and we was also introduced to Arrowverse's Legion of Doom. Legion of Doom for this season was consisted of Reverse Flash, Damien Dark, Malcolm Merlin. They also recruited a younger Leonard Snart from another timeline before he became a legend, and Mick Rory briefly turned, joining the Legion of Doom. Now, this season was all about the Spear of Destiny. Eobard Thawne was looking for this special weapon that was able to rewrite reality in any way, shape or form that he wanted. And I thought it was a really good story. I thought it was very cool seeing like this race against time, so to speak, to obtain the Spear of Destiny, and for the most part it was really damn good. We also got to see Rip Hunter go rogue for a little bit, albeit brainwashing, so to speak. So it was kind of cool to see Rip Hunter as a villain for a few episodes. And this show had its turning point moment, so to speak, because at the end of season 2, Rip Hunter walked away from the Legends and appointed Sarah Lance, aka the White Canary, as captain of the Wave Rider and leader of the Legends. So, overall, I would say season 2 was probably the best season of all. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I think this season, the second season that is, was probably the most serious one out of the whole show that we've had to date. And yeah, it was awesome. So as we head into season 3 of Legends of Tomorrow, we're joined by 2 new characters, Zari, aka Isis, and Wally West, aka the Kid Flash. They join the Legends as they try to stop the anachronisms that were caused by the Legends after messing up time one too many times, so to speak. So Rip Hunter is now head of the new Time Bureau after disbanding the Time Masters, so to speak. And this season, I would say, was up and down, but it was, for the most part, it was pretty decent. It was a pretty decent season, I think. We also got to meet another new character who later on play quite a big role, and that's Ava, who would also be Sarah Lance's lover. But the one thing that was the turning point for me for the show, and this is kind of where things slowly start to go downhill, was the death of Stein. Now Stein sacrificed himself in the Earth X crossover, where all the heroes took on evil Nazi versions of themselves. And I felt that when Stein was gone from the show, and later on Jefferson, I kind of felt that the show started to lose its appeal a bit. It started to slowly go downhill, and I don't think the show's ever been fully the same since Jefferson and Stein, and even Snart when they left the show, which is now going to bring us to season 4 of Legends of Tomorrow. Now, what started off as a really cool show for the first 3 seasons, it kind of feels like it's a shadow of its former self, so to speak. I mean, I have been watching the 4th season of Legends of Tomorrow, but I don't know. It's sometimes I feel like I have to sit and grit my teeth and just hope that it ends. And it's a real shame, really, because Legends of Tomorrow has shown in the past that it's got a lot of potential to be a fantastic show, and for the most part was a fantastic show. But I don't know. I don't know what's happened this season of Legends. They barely wear their costumes. I don't think they travel back in time that much. A lot of it is pretty silly. It feels like Disney writers have come in and just turned this into like a Disney show. There's been stuff like blowing up unicorns, fighting fairy godmothers. It just feels pretty daft, so to speak. And even the addition of Constantine, who appeared in the 3rd season for a couple of episodes, he's been made now a permanent member of the team for this season. And I don't know, just even someone as cool as John Constantine hasn't done much for the show. In fact, in some parts he's probably made it worse than it has. They seem to focus more on relationships. It doesn't even feel like a superhero team anymore. It just feels like a comedy, but not a good comedy. And it's a real shame, really. With the season finale of Legends of Tomorrow coming up quite soon, I'm going to talk about my theories on what I would like to see for Legends of Tomorrow's fifth season. And I think the best way Legends could improve as a show is by bringing in Etrigan the Demon. Etrigan the Demon is basically a demon from hell. He is connected to Jason Blood, who is fused together courtesy of Merlin. Jason Blood is a knight from King Arthur's Camelot. So I think how I'd like to see Jason Blood come into Legends of Tomorrow is have the first episode show you the days of King Arthur and Jason Blood's days as a knight. You could show Merlin fusing Jason Blood and Etrigan together, and that could be the way you introduce him into the show. And then maybe you could either have John Constantine reach out to him, or you could have Legends reach out to him to fight the main villain for season 5, and that is Klarion the Witch Boy. Klarion is a dark practitioner originally from Witchworld. Now, what you could have for Legends of Tomorrow season 5 is maybe show you his days of how he learned about dark magic, and then slowly build him up from there. You could also have the idea that Etrigan is trying to rid the world of this demon child, but to no avail, and that is where the Legends could come into it. You could have maybe the Legends and Constantine go to an auction rally where they meet up with Jason Blood, and Constantine introduces the team to Blood, and that's how Blood ends up with the Legends. Also, what I would like to see is, although Klarion I'd like to see as the main villain, I'd also like to see him take control of Etrigan and turn him into like his personal weapon against the Legends. So maybe, although Klarion is the main villain, you could also have Etrigan under his control, and then go from there, really. So the Legends would not only have one villain to deal with, but they would also have two villains to deal with, and the whole season could be about trying to get Etrigan and Jason Blood back together as one whole being. And you know, they're already adding magic to the show, so why not take it to the next level? And I think by bringing in those characters, I think it could really help the show out a lot, because I don't like this whole light Legends. I want to see it dark more. I like to see it more dark and heavily story driven, especially heavily dialogue. I think anyone could agree that we need more heavy dialogue, and I think bringing in Klarion the Witch Boy as your main villain could be the best way to go. So that's my theories on what I want to see for Legends of Tomorrow season 5. I want to see Klarion as the main villain for the show. So I'm just going to leave this here for you guys. Let me know what your thoughts and comments are. Would you like to see the Witch Boy as the main villain for season 5, or is there someone else you got in mind you want to see for the show? Do you think this could help improve Legends of Tomorrow after the silliness that we've had for season 4? Take care, everyone. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see you next time.